Okay, so in this example here, we're going to be talking about how to find the vertex if you are in standard form. So you can see that standard form is going to be ax squared plus bx plus c. I wrote that down right here so that we can see. All right, and so once your quadratic is in standard form, you have to use this formula right here in order to find the x value of the vertex, okay? So again, once your quadratic is in standard form, you're going to use the following formula, which is x equals negative b all over 2a to find the x value of the vertex. Now, once you have the x value of the vertex, you can plug it back into the original quadratic and get the y value of the vertex. Because remember, the vertex is a point. It's going to be x comma y, okay? So by using this formula over here that I have circled, you're going to be finding this value right here, this x value, okay? And again, once I have that x value, then I plug it back into the original equation, and then I get this y value, and I can put it all together, okay? So I wrote down an example below so you can see how it's going to work out. You have a quadratic 5x squared plus 10x minus 2. You can clearly see that my b coefficient is going to be 10. So we're in standard form. Again, this is going to be my A, my B, and my C. My B is 10, so plugging it into that formula, I'll have negative 10 all over 2 times 5, which is 10. So I end up with negative 10 over 10, which gives me negative 1, okay? So that's the x value of the vertex for this quadratic. Now, if I wanted the y value of this vertex, I would take the negative 1, and I would plug it back into this quadratic wherever I saw an x value. And then I would have a point. I would have x comma y. All right, and I could write down the vertex as a point. So let's go ahead and try a few examples. It's not really hard. Once you get the hang of it, it really isn't too bad. So here's our first example. I can clearly see that I'm in standard form, right? Here's my A, here's my B, and here's my C, okay? So plugging it into that formula, I'm gonna have x equals negative b over 2a. So for me, that's gonna be negative 12 all over 2 times a, or 2 times 2, right? Which gives me negative 12 all over 4, which then reduces down to negative 3. So again, we're not done yet. This is the x value of the vertex. We're going to plug it back into the original quadratic to get the y value. So I'm going to write here 2 times, here's an x, I'm going to plug in negative 3 squared plus 12 times negative 3, and then I have plus 17, okay? So doing this out, negative 3 squared is going to give you 9. 9 times 2 is 18. So I'm going to put 18. And then I have 12 times a negative 3. That's going to give me negative 36. And then plus 17. Okay? So this one here, just going left to right, 18 minus 36, that's going to give you negative 18. So we're just going to put negative 18 here, plus 17. Negative 18 plus 17 will give you negative 1. So my y value is negative 1. I can put it all together now. So here's my y, here's my x. Writing it as a point, it's going to be negative 3, comma, negative 1. This is the vertex of that quadratic, okay? So let's go ahead and try some more examples. Okay, so here's my next example, and we should go ahead and label everything. Here's my B, here's my C, and my A is technically 1, even though it's not written in. If you want to write in the 1, you can. So my A is 1, and we're going to go ahead and plug it right into that formula, x equals negative b all over 2a. Now be careful here, my b is a negative 8, and the formula calls for a negative b. Remember, it's negative b all over 2a. So if I plug this in, those two negatives are going to make a positive. So I'm actually going to plug it in as a positive 8, okay, all over 2 times a, that's 2 times 1, I get 2, which reduces down to positive 4. So here's the x value of the vertex. Plugging it back in now to get the y value, we get 4 in parentheses squared, that's my x squared, minus 8 times 4, and then plus 19, okay? So 4 squared is going to give you 16, so we get 16. Negative 8 times 4, negative 32, and then plus 19, okay? So 16 minus 32, that's going to give you negative 16. So we get negative 16 here plus 19. And we end up with negative 16 plus 19. That will give you positive 3. So we get positive 3 here. Here's my y value. So putting it all together, we have 4, comma 3. X, comma y, right? There it is. We're done. Okay. Let's try one more example. So here's my last example. Let's go ahead and label everything. Here's my A, B, and C. So we get x equals, I'm going to write out the whole formula. It's negative b all over 2a. So again, my b is a negative 12. Plugging it in here, those two negatives will make a positive. So it will end up being written in as positive 12. So positive 12 all over 2 times a. Well, that's going to be 2 times a negative 2, which is negative 4. Okay. 12 divided by a negative 4 will be negative 3. And there's my x value. Now we plug it back in to get the y value of the vertex. So I have negative 2 times a negative 3 squared. All right. Minus 12 times a negative 3, another x, right? And then minus 17. Okay, so going left to right here, negative 3 squared will give you 9. Times a negative 2 will be negative 18. So negative 18. Negative 12 times a negative 3, that is going to give you positive 36. So plus 36 and then minus 17. Okay, so from here, negative 18 plus 36 will give you positive 18. So positive 18, then minus 17. Well, 18 minus 17 will be 1. So we end up with 1 for our y value. Now putting it all together, we get negative 3, comma 1. There is the vertex of that quadratic. Okay, so that's it. That's how you find the vertex of a quadratic when it is in standard form. All right, pretty straightforward. You just have to remember that formula, negative b all over 2a. That gives you the x value of the vertex. Then simply plug it back in to get the y value of the vertex. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so if the video helped you in any way, if you could just go ahead and give it a thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you get more math videos in the future, and I'll see you in the next one.